going on, everybody?
What's up, everybody? Yeah. What's up, everybody? Hope y'all doing well. We are here on the Southwest side, but before we get into all that, just want to tell you, please go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the follow button, do all that kind of stuff. Keep on rocking with us.
Please and thank you.
And thank you. Yes, but right now we are here at Ford City Mall.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I've never been here before.
Yeah, I haven't been here in a very long time.
Yeah, but you used to come here.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, as a shorty, my grandma and my family used to come. This was the mall. This was one of, matter of fact, real early fun fact. You okay?
Yeah.
This is the largest mall in Chicago outside of the malls downtown.
Crazy.
Yeah, right. So, and it's a little debunked now, but we'll get into that.
Malls are. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But we are going to tell you the origins. We talked about this a little while ago in an early episode, but we decided to give you some more.
Yeah.
Let's start you off. This wasn't always a mall. Matter of fact, in 1942, this Chicago was chosen by the government to be the facility, the plant to build airplane engines, the B-29, for wartime, because the year before, 1941, attack on Pearl Harbor happened. So quick action had to happen.
Yeah.
Didn't have to, but they did. And so, yeah, Chicago was chosen. That's what they initially built this for. And in 1943, it was primarily all built. They built up to eventually 10 very large buildings. Yes, very large buildings. 82 acres, 6 million square feet total. And that's where we're going to start the story now. We're going to go inside, and we got some more to tell you. But let's get inside. This is a beautiful day. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, people just walked in. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, this is kind of dystopian.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm having flashbacks for one, because I haven't been in here in
so long.
An incredible reason why I came to this, specifically this door right here. This is one of the doors we used to go through.
Really?
Yeah. So, man, this is crazy. You can hear echoes in here.
Yeah, and there's carpet, so imagine how empty it is.
Oh my God. And the carpet look good though. I mean, decent.
Does it?
It's decent. It don't got, whatever, man.
All right, so once the building was built and it started manufacturing these engines, about 17,000 people worked here. And
so this place is busting.
It really was.
Yeah.
And then obviously, there was gas rations and people didn't want to spend too much money commuting. So they started moving to the Southwest side. And, you had the airport expanding, you had Ford City expanding. And so that really created a boom in the Southwest side, which is like Archer Heights, Clearing,
Brighton Park, like pretty Southwest side.
Southwest side.
West Lawn, Chicago Lawn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people started moving here. 17,000 people were employed by Ford City, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah, this mall ain't as dead as, it's dead, don't get me wrong, but like, it's still business in here. A lot of places a lot of malls don't even have businesses in here, but this is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Good for the Southwest side and the South side, have a place to go to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So after the war, it wasn't needed anymore. There was no reason to make B-29 engines, but you had Ford in here making plane engines.
For the Korean War.
For the Korean War.
Yeah.
You had Tucker. Tucker was the one that actually only manufactured 51 vehicles.
Yeah.
Couldn't get more than that.
Yeah.
And then you had other manufacturers move in, like Tootsie Roll moved in the 60s, but it was eventually sold to become this shopping center. There was a vision for it to be turned into a shopping center. Actually, the day of the opening, Mayor Daley was here for the opening, and 200,000 people showed up.
200,000
to the opening of Ford City Mall, which is crazy.
Which is accurate, because it was, like I said, it was busted. Now, there's some secrets to this place.
Yeah. It might be a single floor plant, but there's 7,000 miles of underground piping, and like all this really cool shit connecting all buildings.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty interesting.
Yes. Behind us looks like a second floor. Well, let me break that down, because even though this was one floor, they had what's called the connections, and the connections was that underground tunnel system that you were talking about. that connected different retail spaces to one another. And that was, yeah, that was busy. There was actually business down there.
Wow.
This eventually, that's how big this place was, because you had underground town, and it was very popular. However, that closed down in the mid 2000s because it's just too much going on. You know what I'm saying? Not enough business. Also, malls kind
Yeah.
of shutting down. So this was kind of that thing. But you can see right here, look at it closed down. Pretty dope. You can see it leads right there, but there's a wall. But funny thing is, if you come here, check this out. You can see on the other side of it. Pretty dope.
All right, so obviously Ford City Mall is not the only mall where things kind of are closing down or shutting down over the years. It's very common. Actually, Capital One gathered like these numbers about malls in the United States as a whole. I'm gonna have to look at my phone because it's a lot of statistics. But on average, between 2017 and 2022, over 1,100 malls shut down.
Oh wow.
And from 1986 to 2017, malls were closing down at about 580 mall a year.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. It says there's probably maybe 700 malls left in the U.S.
Wow.
if even that are functioning, and this is considered functioning.
Yeah, I mean, this is more functioning than I would have thought.
Yeah.
They're way more functioning.
Yeah, but they do so. They predict that 87% of malls will shut down over the next 10 years because people are just not shopping in malls. Like,
Yeah.
you're shopping
Online,
online, you're
yep.
going, barely anyone's going into stores anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just like not as common.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in 2022, 2 million square feet of mall were demolished.
I mean, and you know that's thing crazy. So, a lot of Fort City has been demolished, right? Parts of the buildings are still here, obviously, but a lot of it was taken down and
Yeah.
torn down and demolished,
Right.
which kind of lines up. You know, it used to be 6 million square feet. Now it's nowhere near.
crazy.
Yeah, nowhere near
crazy.
what it is.
So there were some statistics about what is happening to malls. So like 31% of malls, 31% of new tenants in abandoned malls came in as pop-ups. So they're just temporary little pop-up things. 16% of malls that were abandoned reopened as mixed use. So it's not just retail. So
Right.
there's other things. It's divided into other things.
Right.
8% were turned into warehouses for storage. 7% were turned into residential. And 4% were turned into healthcare.
Man.
So hospitals and clinics and
Make-
stuff like that.
It makes sense.
But a lot of them sit empty.
This is a huge space.
Huge. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
don't get me wrong. There's a lot of empty space in
Yeah,
here. A lot of empty space.
We're
but
sitting at a wing of the mall that is almost entirely empty.
I think this is entrance 3.
Yeah.
We're sitting in front of. And what's crazy is like I remember this just being like
Packed.
just nuts, and like
Yeah.
just to see. I haven't been here in so long, y'all.
It's
This-
kind of I would say it's kind of sad because it's like our childhood kind
Yeah.
of thing, but it's also just the nature of capitalism.
But also I'm happy to see that this is still going because it's such a big staple here on the southwest side of Chicago, and it's still up and running when a lot of places have shut down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this is you think about I think about Woodfield Mall, which is
Yeah.
the largest one in Chicago land. You know what I mean? Like this is the largest mall in Chicago land, like at 2.2 million square feet or something like that. And to think that from a certain time period, whatever time period you said, 2.2 million have been torn down.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's still
crazy.
going, and this is still here.
Well,
competing.
the reason malls like this one still stand is because they have these like anchor stores. Like JCPenney is here. It's the big box retailer that is
Yeah.
kind of like covering the majority of the cost of staying open.
This only has one though.
It only has one. It used to have many.
Yeah.
I believe it had a Sears in here too.
Yeah, I think
right?
Sears, Carson's was in here.
yeah.
They were part of the reason why, you know, the connections kind of shut down too. Like a lot
Right.
of, they went
It's
through
like
a lot of
either
management
end
change.
of the mall used to have an anchor, and I mean, yeah.
But it's cool. People are still here and walking around. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's still got a a weird
And
vibe
mind
to
you,
it.
we are here in the middle of a weekday.
Yeah.
So like I imagine that on a weekend or a Friday afternoon or something, it's probably way busier.
At the time of this, I know y'all don't care. It's Friday. It's about to start cracking in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure. So,
It's midday, so
But,
everyone's at work.
yeah.
I hope.
yeah, for real.
But yeah, that is Ford City. It has an interesting little history. You know, it functioned as multiple different things, which is always interesting to see how like the same building could be multiple things.
And what a crazy start this had. Like just
Yeah.
out of control.
It's really-
well, not out of control. It was
Yeah.
the times. That was the times.
Right.
But who knew that it was built because of wartime?
Right.
That's wild.
Right.
But then Ford
And
came
how
through.
it was, it's called Ford City, but like Ford wasn't even the longest
Yeah, no.
thing that it functioned as,
It
like
just-
an engine of, and it wasn't
had
like
the
Ford
biggest-
automobile. It was Ford plane engines.
It was right. You
But
know
it
what I mean?
never was fully implemented
No.
as cars,
Which is
so,
crazy.
yeah.
But-
But that is the episode for today.
Ford City, y'all.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone. That is the best way to support our content, is to share it and engage. Tell us where you want us to go next. Tell us, comment some cool stories that you want us to cover,
Yeah.
if you have any, or what's your favorite mall, maybe?
Yeah.
What's your favorite mall?
Right. What is
we
your
wanna
favorite
know.
mall? Yeah. What is your
What's your
favorite?
favorite mall?
Favorite mall? I don't
I
know.
love the one in Oakbrook.
Oakbrook is dope. Oakbrook is dope. Don't get me wrong.
Yorkville?
Yorkville is dope. I would say where I used to go, Orland Square was dope, but like I'm not rocking with Orland Square. Y'all can read the news. I'm not rocking with
Damn.
them right now. Yeah, I think this was part of childhood. Montgomery, Evergreen Plaza. That's probably the one that it first come to my mind. We done been there so many times.
Anything that had a Sears or a Macy's or a Carson's, Marshall Fields, any of those, my mom, we spent hours, and I love shopping, so you know,
Yeah,
I was with it.
but it's time for us to go eat. So
Let's get it.
let's get it, y'all. Hit the like, subscribe, man. We're coming to Ford City.
See you next week.
Peace.